Topic today on snowplowexpert.com is how to find employees that are great. How do you hire them, train them, and retain them year after year to make sure your solid core of employees is a really great group of individuals that are reliable. Obviously, you know, here in the snow industry, it's very demanding and you're on call 24 hours, 7 days a week, holidays, weekends, even New Year's Eve. So there's a lot of variables that go into play. You need to make sure your staff is not out drinking at the bar the night before a snowstorm. They have working cell phones and you have a way to get a hold of them, and they have either a vehicle at their residence or a reliable vehicle to get to, whether it be a loader at a parking lot or your shop, to pick up a plow vehicle at the company shop. So the first thing that I like to do when we go out to try to find a new snowplow contractor or even subcontractor for that matter is we have them screened at the office by one of our office staff with some general questions. If the office staff feels that given the 4 or 5 general questions that we ask everybody, those are good responses and they feel that they would be a good fit for the team, we do bring them in for a interview where we show them a slideshow of all the positions, the responsibilities, and the pay scale for each position, where they would probably start out, where they possibly could end up as they grew within our company. At this point, if it looks like it's going to be a good fit, and we discuss a few more standardized questions so we can base them against everybody else that's come out in the company, we move on to the standard employment application, where we have 4 or 5 math questions and general knowledge questions. Try to get a feel of their education level, how they can think, and really what turns them on in a work environment and their lifestyle. Through my research and experience, I found that in the snow and ice removal business, some of our best employees have been either contractors that really don't work during the winter hours, such as like a masonry trade or a roofer or a cider. Somebody who's used to working in the elements and is not afraid to go out, get out there, get dirty, work, 10, 15-hour shift, long hours in the truck because they're already used to getting in and out of the truck constantly during the summer. Another demographic of people that we'd like to go after is people that are big in outdoors, fishing, hunting, things like that, where they're used to being outside in the elements for long hours, getting up early to get the best spot out hunting, things like that. Those individuals seem to work out the best for us. Not to say that our labor pool is limited to that demographic, but we found in our experiences those people tend to do the best and stick around the longest within our company. Once the gentleman or lady is hired within the company, it is absolutely imperative to have a written job description that is clear and outlines every part of the job of what's expected, when's expected, and also the repercussions if you're not following through. For instance, if you're calling this person at 1 in the morning, they don't answer their phone, and you can't get a hold of them, what are the repercussions? We rely heavily on a base pay with a performance bonus with measurable results. So one of the measurable results is you're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever there's a snow or ice event. If you fail to do so, your performance bonus is affected in this manner with clear-cut expectations and penalties, what you call it, if they do not answer their phone or follow through on one of these measurable performance bonuses. So if they show up, do their job, answer their phone, they're going to get their whole entire performance bonus. But if they don't answer their phone, or they come in late, or they're not responsive, and they're putting more stress on the whole team in the company, they do not get their performance bonus. So we hold everyone accountable with very clear descriptions, and if they do not follow through, they're immediately given feedback and how it affects them. We usually use like a 2-strike out rule. So basically, no call, no show once, you're put on probation. One more time, we do let them go, and we do write it up in their folder, and it's all documented. But our screening process, for the most part now, with the clear job expectations and what we demand and what we expect from our staff and subcontractors, he's weeded out a lot of the headaches. So it all starts with a very strong screening process and interviewing process with timelines and tasks they must complete in a certain amount of time. So you can see that there's some urgency. They're able to follow through on something they're told to do within the time frame that they're given. In addition to that, we've also found that interviewing constantly works great because we're always almost like an athletic team. We're always staffing our bench. So if the players on the field or out in the snow removal field are not following what they should be doing, we always have constant people on the bench to fill that position immediately. And this enables us to keep the people in the field that we are currently have employed on their toes and know they have to be responsible and on their game every time it snows and be available. Otherwise, there's people waiting to take their positions. So we've created a very competitive atmosphere, but it rewards the people who really want to be there and do a great job. The second part of this would be is once that person is hired, you have a clear written job description and an employment contract in writing for both the employee as well as the company that protects both interests mutually, and you both know you're in the game and both the company and the employee are sharing some skin. You see a lot of times in this industry, there's not a formal written job contract with clear set pay scales and performance bonuses and expectations. That's one thing that is going to set you apart from your competition and allow you to really grab those key employees that are out there that are looking for stability and really want an opportunity to grow within a company. So once you've got that individual with that written contract, the training systems in the field and before they get in the field are very key to make sure that you can keep these great employees in your company as well as keep them motivated and productive as possible. So it's a three-pronged approach that we like to use is a video training series that actually shows the plow driver or the potential plow driver or the sidewalk shoveler or the person running the salt truck the equipment, the safety protocol, how to maintain it, how to troubleshoot any issues that may appear in the field in the middle of the night or during the day, coupled with an audio training series, either on an MP3 or a DVD or live online on one of our web-based training websites. And on top of that, on the third element, we'd like a text version of that. So it's a hardbound book or spiral-bound book that we give the employee that overviews the whole training process, what's expected, techniques, systems, and when they should call in jobs that are done, pretty much A to Z from pre-trip check to post-trip check, and reporting what jobs are done and when they should be posted in the system for the office. So just to recap, for the best way to hire a great employee or subcontractor in the snow and ice removal field is to have clear expectations, a written job description, a contract that's mutually signed by the company as well as the employee. So there's clear expectations and legally binding. A training series which would include video, audio, and text. And an in-the-field training process where it's not in the middle of a storm, but after reviewing the audio, video, and text, you can take this individual out in a truck or a sidewalk crew and run them through the motions, whether it be in your company parking lot or residential driveway where you've gotten permission to go out and train people in. But the best way to do it is hands-on training after you've gone through the online video training series. The best results, have been come up with this way. A lot of times, too, after this, we will have the individual drive with one of our veteran plow drivers or sidewalk crews for at least a storm event or two, so they can acclimate it with the systems. They can kind of see what it's all about. And if they have some questions on the fly or something comes up that wasn't, in the training, in the field that wasn't possible in the middle of the night, those questions can be answered, and most of the scenarios that may come up are taken care of. We also suggest making sure if you have a new employee, at least make sure you've got GPS in their vehicle and they are checking in every hour when they leave the shop or their home to start plowing, about an hour or two in, and then every other hour for the first couple runs. So you've got constant communication, so you know how they're doing if they have some questions, and if they're running behind and they're not going to meet their deadline for getting everything plowed out before a company opens, or residential driveways have to leave to go to work. You can go in and backfill the rest of that route to make sure you're hitting your time deadlines and there's constant communication. And the last part of having a very successful employee training system would be to constantly interview, because we all know every employee, no matter what position, whether it be the president of the company or a technician who's working their way up, all have their shelf life in a company, no matter what company it is and how well you pay them or how happy they are. No company is going to retain 100% of their employees the whole life of their company. So you should always be constantly looking on the horizon through several different avenues and constantly interviewing, so you have the next great employee lined up. So whether it be you have to let someone go or someone quits, there's no gap in great service in your company. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us a line on the Contact Us page. And until then, have a great profitable snow plowing season this year.